Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the Elite Pharmaceuticals ELTP quarterly summary. Today is the 18th of February, 2025, and we got the quarterly report on the 13th of February and the conference call on the 14th. So we are going to be looking at the bullish and the bearish parts of this company. I generally follow small cap pharma. I do games. I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and thank you. Okay. So disclaimer is I own stock. I bought a little under 4 cents. I am an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up, of course, by your own due diligence. And the information given is valid for today, the 18th of February, and the slideshow will not be dated. But as we get new slideshow. So let's talk about it. So we had an interesting day on the 13th of February. So total revenues came in at 14.3 million, which was down from 15.5 in the same time of 2023. The company stated that the miss was from a timing issue at the end of the year. Overall, the company still posted a net gain of $1 million and had increased cash in hand to 8.3 million. So that was still fairly positive. But that conference call was really where it came in there. And we did see at the beginning of Friday that the stock was definitely lower based on those results. Now, they had a conference call. It was a fairly strong conference call, and the stock recovered most of it, what we had. So the company stated the delay was due to the holidays and not being able to ship everything out. This was reinforced by the increase in inventory, and they said that their unaudited revenues in January were 12.5 million. So that is just January. Just to put that in perspective, this quarter was about 14.4 million. So that's a little under 5 million a month. So we really do have a chance to make it look very, very nice in quarter one, 2025. That is for sure. The Vyvanse generic launch was delayed until 2025 when revenue was booked. I was hoping maybe we would see it at the end of this quarter, but we just didn't. The company also launched generic hydrocodone in December, so the company is still moving forward. The business model is simple. Adderall and Vyvanse. Combined, they're worth more than $6 billion. There are still some shortages, but the products are still pretty limited. So we're still in pretty good shape. I do like the DA has not increased the quotas enough to outscript how much they need. So the company continues to launch products of all sizes, and the company has no major debt, and of course will continue to grow. So was it another positive quarter? Yeah, kind of. So this delay is definitely going to have some unique consequences when reporting that quarter one data. That is for sure, because we're going to get a very big boost, but the company should easily cross the $80 million revenue threshold without any issues. My best estimate would be probably between 90 and 100 million for this year. We're going to do some math now. So we're going to try to find out what the company is worth based on that. So follow along. Now the company's operating expenses should be around 20 million. That's just looking at quarter four's operating expenses of 5. We're probably going to be pretty close to that. COG, the cost of goods, are normally more than half of total revenues. I think depending on which quarter you look at, it's between 50 and 60%. So we're just going to use 60 just to make it very easy. And then of course, if we do undershoot the operating expenses, we're still in good shape. So between that, 100 million is the revenue that we're hoping for the high end. 60 million for the cost of goods, 20 million for the operating expenses means $20 million of positive net income from operations in 2025. That is great. Now, let's go on the lower end and say it's only 80 million. So 80 million, of course, that'd be 48 million for cost of goods, again, minus the 20 million from your operations, and you're still making $12 million income in 2025. So you can safely say without any major changes, the company should be $10 to $20 million positive in 2025. That is super great. Now, let's talk about some of the issues I've talked about before. This will get a little political, but I will pretty much only state what has been stated by people. And that's really all we're going to go with. So everything I'm going to say is stuff that has been stated or stuff that maybe I do not know because it's not been. Anyway, RFK Jr., head of the FDA. Okay, that was a little concerning. During the campaign, he rallied against drugs like Adderall and even threatened to create, these are in quotes, wellness farms for people who take those drugs. There is currently a 100-day executive order to assess the prevalence of and threat posed by the prescription of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, stimulants, which would be Adderall and Vyvanse, and weight loss drugs. So we have 100 days. They're going to kind of go through this. We should be okay, because unless there's a major change, like pulling the drug off the market, the limits are going to be fairly muted by whatever this executive order assessment is going to come in there. Now, the DEA, which is the Drug Enforcement Agency, is who controls how much drugs can get to the market for Adderall and Vyvanse. So, the new nominee, Terence C. Cole, would definitely have more of the power to limit the amount of drug that can be made, which again, if we can't make as much, we can't sell as much, and you see where that is going. Now, Cole, while not a fan of marijuana, has not made any major statements against Adderall or other drugs in his current role as the Virginia Public Safety and Homeland Security. That's his role. So, looking at that, I'd say we're okay. He should have no problem getting confirmed. He is like a career bureaucrat, and I don't think that he is going to go in there and just upend the system. So I think we're fairly safe based on that. And I think in the last time I made this report, we did not have any nominee, or the nominee just withdrawn. So overall, that makes me feel a lot better. So, okay, all politicalness is over. Let's talk about the summary. So the company is definitely a long-term hold. We have positive cash flow, a growing pipeline of generics, and the ability to go against bigger companies. I believe the company will continue to grow throughout 2025 with a $1 billion market cap as a possibility with a good or great generic Vyvanse launch. I think we're in pretty good shape there. I also do believe that we are going to be headed for a reverse split at some point, and being on a major market, which of course will help the stock price out. Right now, we could do a 10-to-1 reverse split, have 100 million shares, and have a $5 plus stock price, which again would make us large enough for investors to put into it. So again, I think overall we're still fairly positive. There's some stuff that we're still going to watch, of course, just to make sure that we're in good shape. But I think we're headed for a decent 2025. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.